Batman The Dark Knight number 18, written by Greg Hurwitz, art by Ethan Van Sciver. So last issue we left off with Mad Hatter has some stealthy operation where he's abducting a lot of people and whatnot, and Batman's catching up to him. This issue opens up Batman, or Bruce Wayne I should say, just walking down the street on the phone with Alfred saying, hey, do we have any more records on that plot of land that I think Mad Hatter could be at? And Alfred's looking into it. And as he's walking down the street, he sees his ex, I think it was Tatiana. I think that's who, I don't know, Natalia? Tatiana? Something like that. She's literally not named in this whole book, so forgive me. But regardless, they see each other, they smile and wave, and Bruce continues walking on as Alfred's like, hey, by the way, I can't find anything as to who owns this particular land, but it is owned by the same person who owns a nightclub called the Wild Hare. So Batman breaks into the club, he sees Tweedledee, and Tweedledee's like, am I supposed to be impressed? And he's like, yeah, it was a pretty dramatic entrance. Anyway, tell me what you know about Mad Hatter. And Tweedledee's like, one time I was guarding this club, and it had some bad stuff going on in the background, but then you kicked me in my face, and I had to get major reconstruction surgery, and I can't taste things anymore because of you. I want you to understand that's why I'm not telling you anything, not because I'm loyal to Mad Hatter. And Batman's like, okay, well, when you were guarding that whatever thing, people died inside, and I'm going to make sure that you completely lose your jaw if you don't tell me where Mad Hatter is now. So then he still doesn't crack, but he manages to steal Tweedledee's phone and gets a single GPS location off of it for an abandoned warehouse. So as he goes there, he sees there's plenty of stuff going on at the warehouse. He breaks in and starts knocking heads. But as he does so, he's like, oh, there's going to be weapons here, like pistols and rocket launchers. And then as he opens it up, it turns out it's just tea. And as he analyzes it, the tea is laced with psychedelic things, specifically for Mad Hatter to drink so that he can just kind of be high. And that's it. But apparently it also comes with increased strength. And at that moment, Batman gets hit on the head by Mad Hatter with a steel beam. And it actually manages to incapacitate Batman for a little bit as Mad Hatter makes his escape. So then they get up onto the rooftop. Mad Hatter's gone, but Catwoman's there, stealing a hubcap off of the Batmobile. And Batman's like, I swear to God, please tell me you're not doing what you're doing right now. And she just starts laying down the moves like, oh yeah, you want to get rough with me, huh? Is that what you want to do? And she gets all up on him. And he's like, okay, I really don't want to do this right now, and I don't like it like that, but maybe I do. I gotta go. So he jumps off and takes the Batmobile home. And then we get more into Mad Hatter's past. Apparently, whatever he's trying to do, everything is fully cast. He's made everyone except for one specific role, which is for Alice. And we see there's a school dance coming up, and Jervis is way shorter than he should be at his age. He is a late bloomer. And he talks to his parents about it, and they're like, okay, look, we'll go to the doctor. But in the meantime, I work in a haberdashery, son. I can give you this cool top hat, and it'll make you seem taller. And he looks at it and he's like, I'm just going to trust that my friends like me for me. So he goes in and he asks Alice to the dance. And Alice is like, actually, I think all of us are just kind of going as a big group, friends, and, we'll have fun. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I'll see you there. So they go to the doctor, and the doctor basically says, yeah, you have a testosterone deficiency. You're kind of not hitting puberty right, but it's cool. It happens to a lot of people. And Jervis is like, no, give me something to fix it. So he's like, okay, well, we have done a little bit of research into this, and we do have a pill that should kickstart things. And he holds up a little pill and says, this one makes you bigger. And he basically says, I don't want to give this to you because it has a lot of side effects, including things like being a psychopath. So maybe it's not the best option. But if you guys really want it, I can prescribe it. And so they do prescribe it. But Jervis's dad is like, look, son, you don't need it. You're fine the way you are. Just, if you really want it, we'll give it to you. Just really make sure you think about it. So the dance comes. And he goes over to Alice and tries holding her hand to dance. And Alice is like, hey, I like you, Jervis. I just don't like you that, and Jervis is completely dejected. But then we see modern day, where he gets to the home of Alice and Keith Kala, and Keith opens the door, and Jervis is standing there with a dozen red roses, and he's like, "Oh, does Alice D live here?" And he's like, "Yeah. She married me and took my last name, and now we have a bunch of brats running around." And she's like, "Cool, cool. Here's $100. Please leave the house for a few hours." And Keith's like, "All right, sure, whatever. We're going to the movies." So Jervis comes in and says, "Alice, it's me. I'm here for a date, a very important one." And he walks in and wants to reenact his perfect day that he had back then. And he sees Alice, and Alice is now just a broken down housewife, completely miserable. And she's like, "No, like, I grew up. Everyone grew up, Jervis, except for you. You're the only one who didn't." And Jervis is like, all right, well, I can't let you live like this. That's just mean. So he takes some of his tea, gets hyper aggressive, and then beats her to death with her own iron. So then we get from Batman's perspective, I guess, a dream he's having where he thinks about a project he had in school where he had to write about what his parents want for him out of life, and his mom says like, "Oh, we just want you to be known by somebody. We want somebody to truly understand you as you grow up, because it's so scary to open up to people." And so he goes to his ex's house and says like, "Hey, I want to show you who I am." And she's like, "Look, we don't get second chances." But he's like, "I'm not asking for a do-over, or I'm not asking for a do-over. I'm just asking for a way to do it differently." And so he leads her to the window, jumps out on the bat plane and says, "This is who I am." And then he takes her to the bat cave and says, "This is who I am." And he shows her the bat suit and says, "This is who I am." So then we go back to Jervis, who's shooting a bunch of blondes that kind of look like Alice, saying like, "None of these are right. All of them got to die because they reminded me of her, and I don't like feeling things." So he crawls up fetal position, and we get one last like 12 panel sequence here of Jervis just staring as a kid at the bottle of pills, and he's like hemming and hawing. He's like trying to convince himself to do it and that he doesn't need it or whatnot, but in the very end he does take a pill, and that's the end of the issue. I liked it. I really did enjoy it. I think this is a good little characterization bit for Mad Hatter. I think it does a good job of, while I wouldn't say making him empathetic, because clearly he's insane, I do think that it does a better job of just giving that little bit of characterization that makes him more understandable. It makes it more, he didn't just come out the womb already insane as the Mad Hatter. Like, this is a nature versus nurture sort of thing. And he ends up being a combination of both, where his nature led to this problem that he made himself, and he just couldn't get over it. And I think that's interesting to view. In terms of the ex, I'm going to call her Natalia because that seems right. In terms of Natalia knowing that Bruce is Batman, so she's dead now, right? Like, she's going to die by the end of this arc, if not the end of Greg Hurwitz's run on this book. I'm calling that now. But overall, I'll give this issue I'll give it a flat 7. It's interesting. It's got, 7.5. I think it did a good job in what it did. I think it's a solid examination of Mad Hatter, and it does something new with Batman. I mean, sure, he's revealed his identity a couple times before, but not recently. Not in the time that I've been reading comics. It's only happened a couple times. So, yeah, I'm at least intrigued, and I'm looking forward to seeing what new story shakeups can come out of that.